Ariel Helwani is heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez. And Cain, it's good to see you again. It's been a while. Ariel Helwani in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, alongside Fyodor Emelianenko, Tim Kennedy, Robbie Lawler, Tarek Safadine, Scott Smith, Paul Semtex Daly.
I put my hands up, something. Party in the USA.
You know the words. Don't be shy.
I do know the words, but right now I can't just tell you off the top of my head. I'm a little flustered right now, you know?
I put my hands up, singing that song, fly away. Was this your last fight?
Последний твой бой.
To see.
We'll see.
Увидим.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Which direction are you leaning towards right now?
My direction is to get home as soon as possible and hold my new daughter.
I hate going to decision, and like fans hate me going to decision. So yeah, I'm pretty bummed right now. Disappointed, frustrated. I know I had some vets in the crowd that I really wanted to go out there and and go for, but I'll just work harder next time.
Man, I don't care about this interview. Can't come in here. I love this guy. No disrespect to him at all. Jay-Z did his thing tonight. He did his thing. But I do feel like the judges, and he said it himself. I watched one of his interviews about the judges.
Yeah,
you did say bad judges, yeah. Bad judges. It was baloney.
You think you won, Jay-Z?
Yeah, I thought I won.
You think you won? No,
he said it.
He thinks he won.
You think you won?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we got to do this again then, because I felt like I won.
Right now?
No money? Doesn't go at it till one of us fall out?
I would like to defend my title at 205 in Strikeforce, but I'm open to unifying a belt, whoever the champ is at the UFC.
But no specific preference. You don't want to go to the UFC or stick around or fight someone in particular?
I would like to, represent Strikeforce and unify a title.
Ariel Helwani in Philadelphia alongside Yoshihiro Akiyama, Brian Ebersol, Johnny Hendricks, Vitor Belfort, Chad Mendes, Rashad Evans, the oldest man to ever win a boxing championship, a man who needs no introduction, Mr. Bernard Hopkins.
I mean, look at the guys he's fought in his short career. And people want to, talk about Brock and laugh. At least Brock has fought real guys and actually came in and fought the best in the world.
Well, that's the one statement that I'll make is we're not saying there's not good fighters other places. What we're saying is the only place where the best fighters fight the best all the time is UFC. That's what we're saying. There's talented fighters. A lot of people come into UFC from somewhere else, but they're going to fight their toughest competition here.
Any UFC fighter, MMA fighter go in a boxing ring and can't do what they do in the UFC, 9 out of 10 won't be victorious, and vice versa. With a boxer coming from, even myself, coming over to that field will be a fish trying to be in the jungle and survive. It's not going to happen. These men are the real deal.
When I realized the day of the fight, I think I can sweating because my body just shocked and no, you keep it there to protect, your body, protect yourself, and I think can miss 2 pounds. It's stupid like that, but constipation.
Did you even try? And it's okay, it happens to the best of us, by the way.
Yeah, it didn't throw me off too much. Just him having my back with that big cup that early kind of scared me because I knew he'd have a lot of vigor and a lot of energy. Right. So I didn't really want a young, vital guy back there.
Holy horrified. Thank you for getting those trunks off TV as soon as possible. Bonus. He got $70,000. Obviously, it was a great fight, too. He put on an incredible performance against a guy like Hallman, but didn't hurt getting those shorts off the air as soon as possible.
Hello, and welcome to Studio 2A at the Fox Network Center. I'm Joe Rogan, and I'm very excited that you're able to join us today for this historic moment for Fox Sports and the UFC.
This is the one thing that I always dreamed about. It's the one thing that I always felt, if we can get there, we're going to get to where I said we would be in 10 years.
I'm ecstatic, for a long time. Those of us who've been in the sport for a long time have been preaching it, and this, I think more than anything, this really helps legitimize the sport to a completely different level. It brings it to a whole other level. All those newspapers and television stations that haven't been following it, it's on the map. It's time to start following it.
The reason this deal works is because of what you saw here today. It's not just, hey, we're going to throw a fight up on Fox and see if it works. This is a 7-year commitment at every level.
Ariel Helwani in Rio de Janeiro getting set for UFC 134 alongside UFC CEO Lorenzo Fertitta and Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, Mauricio Shogun Hua, Yushin Okami, Eric Silva, Brendan Schaub.
It's wonderful. UFC is the best wonderful fight tournament of the world. UFC Rio, Anderson Silva, Minotauro is the best. You are beautiful, so beautiful.
I do this because I fight. I don't like it. It's not fun. I do it because it makes me reach beyond myself. You know, it's. I've never really had a lot of hardship in my life. You know, I pushed out on joining the military. This for me is really hard, and this sucks, and I don't like this. I don't really like people. I don't like doing it, but you got to break your comfort zone, and then when I get back home, think of how much I'm gonna enjoy being home.
The Brazilian people are very, very, how can I say, close with their idols, and I think I'm kind of like that now, and it's very good for me, and I like to receive that good energy coming from them.
You know, tell you the truth, when I accept the fight, I know I wasn't ready at all. You know, I have to push myself. When Joyce Silva and those guys, they called my manager, and don't know why they called my manager and told me, you know, I was going to fight. It was 4 months ago. I just leave the crutches. So barely I was walking, you know, slow. I was training. All my partner trainers, they say no.
For all the great things he do for mixed martial arts, he do for UFC. He is the World Cup. UFC for us, Brasilia, is more than 10 times for the Super Bowl. There's no doubt about. And these kids from Brazil, these kids train hard, give the blood, give the soul to fight good. It's a dream come true. For all the people, for all the audience, you don't understand. If you are Brazilian, you're gonna feel it. You know what I mean? You see the people, everybody enjoy, everybody happy to be in UFC in Brazil.
Ariel Helwani at X Gym in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, alongside Rafael Feijão Cavalcante, Daniel Cormier, Alexis Davis, Pat Healy, King Mohamed Lawal, Jordan Meehan, Luke Rockhold, the Strikeforce middleweight champion Ronaldo Jacare Souza.
You get nothing until you've laid everybody down and set them 6 feet under. Then you want to grab the contracts, you want to get the belts, you want the spoils of war, the trinkets and the baubles. Go take them. They're dead. What are they going to do? They can't stop you. And you're going to be the only one to tell the history.
How about the fact that you didn't come out with any girls, no umbrella, no pedals? I mean, did you feel a little naked out there?
It felt weird, but you know what? I see my boys to right, my boys from Texas, and I was like, man, I'm good, man. But I wish Zuffa would change that whole thing and allow us to have interests, because like pro wrestling, like that's people want to see a show. They want to see knockouts. They want to see a show. The interest is a show as well. You know what I'm saying? Let us do that.
Say you may have broken it. When do you think you actually hurt it?
Very first right hand, man. The very first right hand, I hit him on the chin. He went down. I went to punch him, and I felt my hand kind of crackle a little bit under me. And I was like, man, what the hell? You know, I was like, I kind of hurt myself, you know. But I was like, you know, if this thing's broken, I've got 13 and a half minutes left of this fight with a 6'4" giant. I got to make any time I throw this thing count. You know, that's why I was trying to elbow him and do different things on the top. But I knew it was hurt, and then I caught him with the uppercut off the left hook, and he went down, and I kind of threw the hammer fist. It was awesome.
Ariel Helwani in Denver gearing up for UFC 135 alongside the UFC light heavyweight champion Johnny Bones Jones, Josh Koscheck, Travis Hapa Brown, Sensei Steven Seagal, Matt Hughes.
Merchant gets him in there. This babbling, you know, senile, insane idiot. This guy has been around for way too long. He gets on there again and just embarrasses HBO. You know, this guy goes in there, these fighters fight, and he goes in there and just starts ripping them apart. I mean, every time this guy does an interview, if he's not babbling some incoherent babble that means nothing and had nothing to do with the fight, he's in there talking about the guys. Now Floyd just got headbutted in the face. How about you go in and talk to Floyd about the headbutt? You know, was he headbutting? He just starts attacking Floyd. And then he turns around and says, if I was 50 years younger, I'd kick your ass. Hey, Larry, if you were 70 years younger, you're not kicking Floyd's ass, okay? You babbling, senile moron.
Congo, this guy is talking smack about your last fight. We're going to have to do something to him.
This is an interesting predicament.
You know what? It's not personal, but I had that people say bad thing on me. Oh. Come here. Give me a hug. Like that? Yeah? Huh?
All day. I'll take it.
John Jones wasn't himself tonight.
Really, you thought so? Because a lot of people thought that Joe Rogan said it was his best performance.
Oh well, okay.
Are you not a Joe Rogan fan?
I'm a fighter. I fought all my life. You can listen to him, and maybe he knows more than me. I don't know.
No, I was just saying, just because that's what he said, so I wanted to get your take on
My
it.
opinion, John Jones is much better than that.
I basically choked. I didn't do what I was supposed to. You know, a couple times, you know, I just worried about the wrong things. I'm worried about getting poked in the eye. I'm worried about this, and just wasn't myself out there. And I'm very disappointed. And I'm very disappointed in my performance.
Ariel Helwani gearing up for UFC 136 alongside the UFC featherweight champion Jose Aldo, Kenny Florian, Joe Lozon, Anthony Pettis, Gray Maynard, Chael Sonnen, Brian Stan, the reigning and defending UFC lightweight champion Frankie Edgar. And Frankie, congratulations on another classic. How are you feeling now? I see your eyes a little busted up, but emotionally and physically, how are you feeling?
I'm a little tripped up physically, you know, but I'll deal with it, man. Emotionally, I feel, you know, like I'm on top of the world right now.
Ariel, is that camera big enough to take in the largest arm in Westland, Oregon that has found its way to Houston, Texas? Because that thing looks a little bit small.
Yeah, I think it is.
All right, well, then we can continue. I got one guy in my sights. I can't stand him. He keeps me up at night, and I'm going to take care of him Super Bowl weekend.
You want him to leave the division. Why the division? Why not leave the UFC? Why don't you want to get rid of the guy?
Because he's a coward, and I don't think he'd accept, and you got to play by a coward's rules sometimes. I'm trying to lure him into a fight, so I got to stick that carrot out there, something that I think he'll do.
Now, do you think he'll take the carrot?
He ducked me for 6 years. I don't think why things will change now. If Joe Rogan hadn't taken the microphone out of my mouth, I would have told him, Anderson Silva, I want your answer right now. If you accept, I will wait till Super Bowl weekend. But if you reject, I will walk over there and whip your ass right here, right now in Houston, Texas. Now, this guy walks around, I want the biggest fights. Well, there's no bigger fight than our rematch, stupid. Well, I want the toughest guys. Well, God never made a tougher man than me, and my name hasn't come out of your mouth once.
Ariel Helwani in Las Vegas gearing up for UFC 137 alongside the prodigy BJ Penn, Donald Cowboy Cerrone, Big Czech Congo, Matt Mitrione, Hatsuhiyoki, Roy, Big Country Nelson.
Well, all I'm saying is I can't say that I love doing this. People are always, hey, yeah, you know, you love it so much. And I'm like, whoa. You know, and I got to stop them right there from now on when they say that, because it just kind of gets to me when people, you know, and I don't hold anything against everybody else loving what they do. They love their job and they love to fight. You know, I love to do well, and I love the competition and everything. But as far as fighting for money, it's not something I'm in love with.
Czech didn't like those comments that you made about impregnating him. I don't remember you even saying that, but what did you mean when you said that?
I said that I was going to try to, if I was getting beat up, I'm going to try to take him down and lay on top of him and steal a win. So I was saying, like, if he's beating me up, I'm going to try to win whichever way I can. And the judges award wrestling and lack of offense at times. So that's what I mean, like trying to get me pregnant, like lay on top of him and stay in a safe position.
Why didn't Bruce Buffer say stripper at the beginning of you know, the announcements and whatnot? I thought that was coming. You promised me it was coming. I'm a little disappointed.
I really thought it was too. So I'm actually disappointed in Bruce Buffer, to be honest. So I'm gonna have to have a talk with him and tell him. I mean, I saw him, like, when I walked in there, I gave him the smile, like, yeah, do it. You know, like the call it stripper Randy, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to, you know, have a word with him afterwards.
See how I gotta come off just to get a fight? I gotta come off like that just to get a fight. In this, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be the bad guy. You gonna point the finger, make me the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. Now I get a fight.
But I'm wondering if you will be rooting for Nick Diaz tonight, so that you will eventually get that shot against him.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, of course. If Nick Diaz win and I beat Carlos Condit, logically it would be the perfect matchup. But once again, hopefully it will happen this time. You know what I mean?
The guy that went to the press conference didn't fight. That's all I got to say about it. Nick, yeah, he got kicked out. He's the bad guy. Look, you didn't go to your, like, what Nick called the beauty pageant. But come fight night, you guys saw what he's made of, and he showed up, and he did everything he had to. And the guys that made the press conference, they weren't here tonight. So you be the judge.
Ariel Helwani in Rosemead, California, alongside Junior Dos Santos, the UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez, Clay Guida, Benson, Don't Call Me Ben Henderson, Alistair Overeem, the legend himself, Art, One Glove Jimerson, a very happy DeMarcus Johnson, Alex Caceres, Joe Rogan. Why do they call you Mr. Muscles?
stay focused. Think about the task at hand. Think about why I've been in camp for the last 11 weeks. Think about why I've been in the UFC for 5 years. Think about why I've been fighting mixed martial arts for 6 or 7 years. I lose track how long it's been. And think about what motivates me. Having fun, victory, working with great people like you guys, working with the UFC. Think about why I get up in the morning, to go train, to go do what I love, and just always stay focused and don't forget where you came from. And I'm out there to get my hand raised and put on a show for the crowd and get smiles out of everybody.
Does it feel almost like, it's about time? Everyone's been waiting for you to get here, and now you're here, and it's a big event. It's the year-end show. Do you have that sort of sense, like, finally, I'm where I'm supposed to be?
Well, I had other stuff to do. I mean, the achievements I had in 2010 were very important for me personally. The K1 belt, Strive for Some Dream. That basically got me here as well. And for me, I can only just say now I feel ready for the UFC mentally, also physically, so the time is right.
Well, if you want every show to be the perfect show, it's never really going to happen. What mixed martial arts is unpredictable, and this sort of showcased that tonight. It wasn't the best result in terms of getting the most viewers to watch. If there was some crazy 4-round war where eventually one man, overcame the other one and he had to come through adversity to get there, then maybe that would have brought more viewers. But I think ultimately mixed martial arts is pretty much unstoppable. It's just too exciting, it's too good, and it doesn't matter if 1,000 less or 100,000 less people tune in to the next one because of tonight. Ultimately, it's going to be gigantic. It's going to be much bigger than it is. The fact that it's now on broadcast television, the fact that it's now available for free to millions of people that would have never watched it, the door's open and the floodgates are open, and it's just a matter of time now.
Both crazy. I ain't all the rest of them cats. Brock Lesnar, man, get out of here, man. Yeah, get out of here.
Cain Velasquez, get out of here.
Cain Velasquez, get out of here.
Dos Santos.
Santos, get out of here.
Overeem.
Oh, get out of here. All of them. All of them. Get out of here.
All right, thanks, my man. Appreciate it. Ariel Helwani in San Jose, gearing up for UFC 139 alongside Dan Henderson, Uriah Faber, Kung Lee, Mauricio Shogun Hua, Vanderlei Silva.
What was supposed to happen is Ariel Helwani was supposed to be the first reporter to do at the press conference a No Shirt Nation interview, and he was going to set the tone for reporters like Megan O'Leary, Molly Kieram, some of the other hot chicks out there that we'd like to get with their shirts off doing interviews, and you blew it for all of us. Thanks, man.
So you're looking at a guy. You're looking at a guy to be the trailblazer for the women. It just doesn't really make sense. It's almost like you're using me as your sacrificial lamb.
You got to think outside the box, Ariel. That's why you went to college. That's why you're where you're at today. Thinking outside the box. Look at those shoes.
I'm here with Ariel Helwani and his green-ass shoes. I like how it's visually stimulating me. I have these real loose pants on, and I'm afraid I'm going to pop a boner real quick because this guy is looking sharp.
Obviously, you have stitches over your right eye. Are you injured in any other part of your body?
I hurt you like a man. His kick is so hard. he kicked me a couple of times, and he's a really good fighter. It's a normal hurt, no. Not. I think not. He's gonna need to retire. I hope so.
We're trying to settle this, and I'm trying to be a man about it. And I meant what I said, Fighting does make you be honest. At first it was like, screw Koscheck, I'm going to call him out, and I'm going to call, the fans here out. How could you be fans of Koscheck? And then I'm like, wait a second, It's like, I did get, I did get permission, but he did ask me not to make those shirts, and I did it anyway. So, it's, you got to be honest with yourself. I was the jerk.
Is it possible that this may be the best fight ever in UFC history?
It could be, yeah. It could be the best fight ever in MMA. I said top 3 to give myself some leeway in case you guys popped up with, hey, what about this fight? Because there's just been so many great fights in this sport. And but tonight, man, 5 rounds, nonstop war. I didn't think Shogun was going to make it out of the first round. Not only does he ends up dropping Henderson in the first round. Just a back and forth war. I have so much respect for both these guys. It's unbelievable. Me and Henderson go back a long way, and we bust each other's balls a lot. But man, I'll tell you what an amazing human being that guy is, and for Shogun to take the punishment he took tonight and keep coming, and then finish the fight with the most dominant round of the fight.
Ariel Helwani post-fight at the Tough 14 finale alongside Michael Bisping, Jason Mayhem Miller, Diego Brandao, John Dotson, the Thug-Jitsu master himself, Yves Edwards.
Yeah, I'm a very, very happy person. Very happy person. I'm a happy-go-lucky type person, but I'm also a very happy person with where my life is. I have 3 beautiful children. I have a beautiful fiance. I have the best job in the world. I get paid a lot of money.
and I'm very happy. So, you know, I'm living the dream, and I couldn't give a shit what some assholes that I've never met form an opinion on something. When they see me on The Ultimate Fighter, I'm having a laugh, and if people can't realise that, they need to, you know, it's themselves they need to look at.
Just all that crap from The Ultimate Fighter, if I let that bubble up and you know, get so angry that I don't think clearly, that's the retarded. That's really stupid. Like that's not a good idea. I mean, this definitely has a grudge match kind of feel to it, but I'm going to do my best to keep my emotions in check and beat Michael Bisping and with technical superiority.
Shit just got real.
Can I like be like graphic in detail on this show or what? No.
Go ahead. We'll bleep out if
Okay. Look, man, I'm gonna tell y'all. This is.
Don't go too crazy.
Now you gotta tell the truth, all right?
Yeah, you
Let me
do gotta
tell
tell the truth.
Let me tell you. Like I have.
I think it makes sense to take back the mic here, if you don't mind, Marcus.
He done shut off, didn't he?
I think he may just had his first and last UFC fight. The most one-sided fight in UFC history. Really?
Yeah, one of them, definitely. Yeah, I think that, you know, I was having some arguments after the first round. People were saying that they gave Mayhem the first round. I didn't give Mayhem the first round. I gave it to Bisping.
Despite the great position that he had on the ground for, it seemed like a minute and a half or so.
The quarter of a mount where he did no damage and didn't do anything. Yeah, I wouldn't give a guy a round for sitting in a quarter of a mount and not doing any damage. The whole time that fight, the first round went on, I think Michael Bisping did more damage than Mayhem Miller did.
Ariel Helwani in Toronto for UFC 140 alongside Lyoto Machida, Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, Antonio Rogerio Nogueira, Frank Mir. At what point did you feel like it was time to move away from the bad boy character? That's a moniker that brought you a lot of fame and fortune, and I think a lot of people embraced it. But at what point did you think that it was time to put that aside and move towards this more positive character?
I don't like you, so I'm not going to answer your question.
Should I ask a follow-up, or would that be inappropriate at this point?
I don't like you either, so I don't know. I'm kidding.
That's a comment.
I love you. So we're up here, and he reads me Miguel Torres's tweet, okay, which is, try to quote it here, basically, rape vans. If they were called surprise vans, more women would get into them because everybody loves a surprise. When he read that to me here this morning, I was blown away. It's one of the first times in an interview that I didn't know what to say, and I was just blown away. So as soon as I was done with that interview, I got ready, had to head over to the press conference. So I've got people working on, is that what was said, and that, et cetera, et cetera. After the press conference, I find out that that was the case. He did say that, and he was joking. It was just a joke. And that's not a funny joke to me. That's not it's just not something you tweet or you know. If that's your sense of humor, keep it at home around you and your buddies and keep it to yourself. It's not something that you put out on Twitter.
Is it part of your game plan to come out that aggressively?
No, well, I mean, I wanted to come out and make a statement because, you know, there's a lot of questions going into this fight, you know, with the passing of Sean, with, you know, living up to the last fight. There's a lot of pressure that I wanted to silence any critics, so I did want to come out aggressively, but, you know, that again, that's just out of character, and that's what happens to a fighter. If you fight out of character, you pay the consequences. That's what happened.
Was that the toughest fight of your career?
I think it's safe to say it's the toughest fight since I've learned how to fight. You know, my UFC debut was pretty tough only because I was actually engaged in a really tough fight and I didn't really have tactics or have philosophy. Now I have tactics, I have philosophy. I feel as if I'm a seasoned fighter. I know what I'm doing. And I still went through a pretty strong fight. So I think it's safe to say that it's the toughest fight since I've known how to fight.
How'd you set up that choke? That was one of the more impressive moments of your career.
All right, I'll show you. So what you do is you grab it here. You okay?
I'm great. That felt great.
Cool.
And then you just walked away like ain't no thing. Like it felt like you had a little swag in your step when you walked away there. Just let him fall to the ground.
Hey, it was a good fight, and I'm just grateful that I won it.
You think it would only make sense to do it with us since, you know?
Oh, to break the story. Oh, it makes sense. Oh,
to close the story, you know. To
about you. You will go anywhere. I mean, you're in my room. You're everywhere. I can't even hide from you, man. So yeah, you probably get it because I can't shake you.
All right, we'll end it at that. UFC 140, a great night in Canada. Congratulations to you and the crew, and congratulations to John Jones.